In this video, we're going to learn how to loop out animation assets to create a parallax style animation. So you load in your parallax AI file and make sure you import it as a composition. And this is going to give all the layers that exist in there their correct sizes, so we can put it all together. So when you've got that open, you can come in here and you can see you've got all these different layers split up, the near trees, the different parts of the car. So the first thing we're going to do is grab all the bits of the car, so the car and the two wheels, and then just make a pre-comp. So pre-compose that and just call it car. Then inside here, we are going to loop the wheels to give a sense of motion. So if we just hit N and then trim comp to work area, we've now got a 2-second composition. First thing we're going to do is go up front wheel and put a keyframe at 0, and then times, and then we're going to get -3 on the rotation, and that's going to give the correct rotation for a forward moving car. And then we're just going to do exactly the same to the rear wheel, and then if we come out and look at it in context of our composition, it should give that kind of forward motion, or that parallax forward motion we're looking to obtain. Then to make this layer, now we need to add an expression to allow this to loop out. So the first thing we need to do is to right click the layer and enable timer mapping. And you'll see now that the pre-comp will stretch to fit the exterior composition of the parallax composition we're working on. Then we just need to right click the stopwatch, and this is going to get up the expressions menu. When we get down to property, and you see we've got loads of different ones here. We're going to get into property and go to loop out. And now you'll see that it's taken that 2-second comp and looped it out throughout the entire 10-second composition. So now we're just going to continue this technique and create the near trees, put the near trees into a pre-comp, jump into that pre-comp and trim it back down to 2 seconds with N, and then hit trim comp to work area. Then from here we're just going to do pretty much the same thing. So this time we're just going to change the position from the keys of the trees from the left hand side of the frame, and then after 2 seconds passing as if it's speeding in front of the camera that we're looking through, or the shot. You can see what that looks like now. So you see those trees going past. And then we're just going to do exactly the same thing, which is just to jump in here, go to time, enable timer mapping, and then alt click the stopwatch, go down to property and loop that out. And you'll see this will now repeat as we go through. So now we're just going to continue to this technique with the road and some of the other assets. So we're just going to go straight down to the position and move this at about a 10 frame time span, just to see the road moving backwards. And then we're going to loop that the same. We're going to see if that might be too slow, so we might have to shorten those keyframes so that it loops quicker. We're just shorten that down to around 6 frames or so, and then I'll click the position and come down to property, and then loop out. And you can see now that we've got this kind of motion that's been created by the road, the car, and then that first set of trees. So now we're going to continue this with the far hills, and because it's so far away, we're just going to add a very slight movement. With no looping this time, just physically moving the kind of matte paintings from left to right, from the start to the end, just putting a starting keyframe and then keyframe in position. Because they're too far to loop, we don't need to keep looping the animation. Now for the final bit of this composition, we're just going to loop this far tree comp. But I'm just going to move them, so I'm just going to scale them so they fit a little bit better into the background, and so that actually that whole box covers the outside of the frame. Otherwise, when it loops, if it's just inside the composition that's too small, it will be cut off. So we're just going to pre-compose this, then again come and trim this down to 2 seconds, and just do the exact technique that we did earlier with the closed trees. Just move them from one side of the frame to the other as if they're passing by, and then loop it out. And when you've done this step again, you should end up with a final composition. And here we are. This is our final parallax animation, just when using this idea of perspective and creating this kind of fake moving perspective, even though it's all quite simply looped. You've got quite a successful car animation.